What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. All right, check this out. So I finally got a chance to watch the video and listen to the audio of this quote unquote neurologist claiming that from the eye test, they saw that Spence had neurological damage, right? Brain damage going into the fight, and that he shouldn't have been cleared to fight. They could tell by the glassy look in his eyes. They could tell by the slurred speech, although he does have the dentures. They did bring that out. And they could tell by the wobbling, right? The fact that he couldn't stand up. He was wobbling all over the place. They talked about how being dehydrated can really set it off and make your symptoms worse, right? So I want to say this. I mean, people are saying, it wasn't a real doctor. They shouldn't have said this. And you can't just look at somebody and say that. I want to say this. You ain't got to be a doctor to look at something and see it ain't right. Right? It didn't take that doctor to come out and say that for people to start saying that. People was already saying that. Right? You didn't need that confirmation. Anybody that watches sports, I don't care if you're a Spence fan, if you're a Crawford fan. If you watch boxing, then you watch Spence fight, regardless of who he's fighting. If he's fighting Danny Garcia, if he's fighting Sean Porter, if he's fighting Carlos Ocampo, if you a boxing fan, you're going to watch him fight, regardless of who he's fighting. If you a Crawford fan, you're going to watch Crawford fight. Whether he's fighting Spence, Porter, Postal, you're going to watch him fight. So, over time, you're going to know how this person fights. Now, granted, you might not be able to call the fight as who's going to win between the two, but you got an idea of how these two people fight, a general idea. So when you see them in the ring and you see them doing something that's out of the ordinary, you see them walking to the ring and something, they not walking right, they not looking right, and they look like they ain't slept in 3 or 4 days, and you say, man, damn, something look wrong with him. Something ain't right. It don't take a doctor to tell you that. Right? It don't take a doctor to tell you that. And the fact that people are saying, oh, yeah, the quote-unquote doctor did an eye test. Let's say he is a doctor. Doctors can do eye tests. They can look at you. Okay, if you did electrical work, right? You an electrician. Or you a plumber. Somebody called you and said, hey, man, I'm having this issue with blah, 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 blah. And you say, send me a picture. And they send you a picture. You can look at the picture and see, nah, man, you need to do this and do that, without visually going there and inspecting it. You can see something and say, yeah, this is wrong with that, or this is wrong with that. Or they can tell you over the phone. They can call you and tell you over the phone. Or you say, what's the issue you having? Oh, it sound like you need a new breaker, or it sound like neutral or something. You get what I'm saying? So all that, the eye test, and you can do an eye test on somebody, but you don't even have to have expertise in that field. You don't have to be a doctor to look at somebody and say, something's wrong with this person. Now they say, well, you didn't say that when he fought Ugas. You didn't say that when he fought Danny. Yeah, but you didn't know because he really didn't get hit. Earl really didn't take no punishment in them 2 fights, other than the time he got hit by Ugas. And even when he got hit by Ugas that one time, before he even explained he thought his teeth got knocked out. When he first got hit by Ugas in that fight, the way he responded to that was weird. I was like, damn, what's wrong with Spence? What's he doing? Why is he walking off like that? It was a bizarre moment in the fight. And they end up asking what was he doing. He said he thought he got his teeth knocked out. Which, okay, that's a good answer, but at the time when that happened, my eyebrow went up. I said, damn, that was weird. Why Spence Why he respond like that when he got hit? It's like he didn't know where it was just a weird response. But he didn't really take a lot of punishment, so you really couldn't see nothing. But the way Errol walked to that ring, the way he was responding to shots, the way his face was deteriorating from the onslaught, it was something else at play. I'm not saying somebody loaded their gloves up. I'm saying I don't know what it was. I don't know, but it was something. If Crawford came out there doing the exact same thing, stumbling all over the place, I would say the same thing, man. Something wrong with Crawford. Yeah, man, something was wrong with him. But you can't say that because people, they say, oh, well, you a fanboy. That's why you saying that. Well, no, you a fanboy. That's why you're not listening. That's why you didn't see it. If you watch, you know when something's not right. So I feel like, me personally, I feel like, you know, I wouldn't want to see nothing happen to nobody. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see nobody get hurt, right? Permanently damaged, regardless if I'm a fanboy or not. I wouldn't want Crawford to be hurt. I wouldn't want Spence to be hurt. I like the entertainment, but I want these fighters to go home, right? I don't want nobody to get killed in the ring. That night, I felt bad for Spence, right? It was hard to watch, to see him get beat like that. So something, you don't capture 3 belts from champions, and then you get to the biggest fight in your life, and it's just not competitive at all. Zero competitive at all. Look at the betting. Look at the wide spread. Look at the spread on the betting. If you betted the fight was going to be total destruction, knockout, all these knockdowns and those, if you was able to do that, which would have been rare, you would have made a killing. People was ready to see this fight a trilogy, a rematch. This is boxing analysts that know what they're talking about. And this fight was the total opposite. I don't care if you said you thought Crawford was going to kill Spence. You did not see it playing out like that to where his face was going to deteriorate like that. Something else was at play, whether you want to admit it or not. This has nothing to do with being no fanboy. If you want to take all the questioning out of the mix and all this fanboy stuff, make people wear the same gloves. Make people have the same wraps. You know what I'm saying? Make people keep it all on the same playing field. That's why. That way you ain't got to talk about no gloves. You ain't got to talk about no wraps. And then really examine these fighters and don't let them fight if they got health issues. That's my opinion, man. I'm out.